Now we have Kate, who is a professional camera operator and Steadicam op. She's going to talk to us a little bit more about Steadicam. Hi Kate, super psyched to have you here.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Where are you based?
So I'm not based in Los Angeles, but I'm Australian and have been in London for the last 10 years.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a few ways that Steadicam can be implemented?
So Steadicam is implemented on set usually when there is track and follow, for more choreographed scenes, for locations that you can't have a track and dolly. I know, the Steadicam, it brings a different aesthetic to the frame.
So a track and follow is walking, running, correct?
Yeah, so you'll have the actor walking and we're either following behind over the shoulder. We can do a lead where we are facing them, walking backwards as they come towards camera. We can also have, it can be parallel at a slight angle. They're all just different versions of a track and follow. Some of the words you might hear on set when you have a Steadicam operator will be high mode or low mode. That is essentially when you have your rig, as I do here. We don't have a camera at the moment. So high mode is when the camera is almost sort of head height, and you have sort of a boom range of about probably down to the hips. When we go into low mode, so when we flip the entire rig upside down, and it means that we can suddenly get shots from about hip right down to your feet. So there are limitations when we are in high mode or low mode as to how far up and down we can go. So that's something while you hear, oh, this next shot might be a low mode. So you'll see me flipping the whole camera upside down to get the angle that we require.
And that will change the actor's performance.
Not so much performance, but the relationship towards the camera is and the angle that we'll be getting. So just to know where to favor yourself towards camera, if it's down low or if it's up here. The most common question I get asked is it heavy? And yes, it is.
Okay.
But that's what we train for, and we are rarely holding the camera for more than 5 minutes at a time. So we do get rest breaks. So yeah, keeping distance is important. It's not something I want the actor to be all consumed by. It's a team effort. Making a film is a team effort. It does go a long way though, having that in consideration when we are doing, for example, the lead or the follow, to keep the same distance, because we have created this shot in the certain size, with a certain lens, with a certain distance, to portray a certain emotion or emotion. So it does become a bit more difficult if the actor or even the camera operator starts changing their speeds. You're coming closer and further away in the frame. The focus puller will also find it a lot more difficult to keep you in focus. Saying that, it is more important the longer on the lens that you go. If we are on an 85 or 100 mil, you have a much shallower depth of field, which means that focus is gonna be a lot more tricky to maintain if we are constantly moving. My frame size is also gonna be a little trickier. And that goes with handheld as well. If we're both trying to move at the same time, it's more about communication and just speaking about what I'm trying to achieve and what I'm trying to portray here, and how that we can both achieve that together.
Great, yeah. Just a reminder on lenses, the longer the lens, the higher the number, the shallower the depth of field, and the more careful and cognizant of maintaining distance with your op you should be. When you're working with an actor, what is the most important thing that they should be doing during a Steadicam setup?
I wouldn't specifically say it's just for Steadicam, but just in general as an operator, the most important thing is communication and having a relationship with your actor. As the operator, you are the face of the crew during that take. You are the closest person to the actor. You are all dancers in this choreography that is the scene. And yes, I am so deeply respectful to the actors and what they do. It is a tough job. I don't know how, it's incredible. And just before a take, that is when they're going to be getting into their mindset, they're going through their lines, there's a lot going on. So you have to be respectful, but it's also we're all humans, we're all here trying to make this project, so it's nice to be able to have comfort when you're on set and know that I am here trying to make you look great, achieve this amazing thing. I am here for you, I am your support, and talk to each other at how you can best achieve that.
Camera off isn't scary. They're not a scary
No.
person, right?
No.
Yeah, you can talk to them.
Yeah. We're usually more intimidated by you than
The
other way around.
Is it easy? Can you tell the difference between someone who is newer on set and has less experience and someone who's been in the business for a while?
Yeah, for sure. Some of the telltale signs, and like this has nothing to do with performance, it'll more be the technical things like hitting marks. Marks are extremely useful for framing, extremely useful for lighting, for focus, for a whole number of things. It's not the end of the world if you don't hit your mark. Obviously, there's a lot going on in your performance. If you don't hit your mark by 2 centimeters, we're not gonna, it's not the end of the world. However, it is important for the lighting, for the framing, and for the focus puller as well, in that we achieve what we've rehearsed and what the aim is of our shot. We do have, we are prepared to adjust if you miss a mark.
Okay.
But it becomes a lot more difficult when you have an actor who isn't aware how important a mark can be,
Right.
that is constantly changing.
You will look better if you hit your mark.
We are flexible, so it's not the end of the world, but it is, again, something to consider.
Have you ever had the great fortune of working with someone who really did know their way around?
Yeah, of course. On my last set back in London, our lead character was a relatively newcomer, and she was supported by some extremely experienced actors. And yeah, you can tell the difference on set. Their performances were outstanding, but you can tell the lead character, her marks, she never really hit them as much, and we were aware of that, so we worked around that. Compared to another actor that we had on who has many years experience, and he would specifically ask us, what lens are we? What's the angle? What are we seeing here? And like usually they'll be like, oh, what are we doing? You'll have a little bit of eye contact, be like, right, so and you're like, okay, we're doing this. Okay, cool. He knows where the light is. He'll favor the camera ever so slightly, especially when you've got maybe 2 or 3 cameras getting an angle. They were aware of where all the angles were and what they needed to achieve for your shot. It becomes extremely collaborative, and it's amazing. It's always a great day when you've got someone on set who you can freely talk about this stuff with.
Right, makes it a little more fun, right?
Not so much fun, it's definitely there's more of an understanding.
Okay.
It makes it a lot easier to communicate with.
Would you say that knowing that sort of thing can translate into more screen time?
It's not so much that you will get more screen time, it's more the shot becomes more aesthetically pleasing, or it becomes more precise to the mood and tone that we were trying to achieve. Favoring the light, knowing where the camera is, and playing towards that, because this isn't theater, we are filming on cameras. That is the audience, is the camera. So knowing where that is and playing to that a bit more certainly makes the job a lot easier for us. And it makes us achieve our goal a lot easier.
Kate, do you have a fun tip that you could give to newer actors who really haven't had much experience with a Steadicam?
It really becomes quite intimate when, especially on Steadicam or handheld, when you're with an actor, you really need to communicate about the speed at which you will both be going. It has a lot of timing, a lot of choreography that goes on there, and it's very intricate. So just speaking to one another and understanding what is the limit of the speed that you can go. Like, if you are rushing in a scene to get somewhere, and we don't have a dolly available or a rickshaw, it's just my own 2 feet. There's only so fast safely that I can go. And I might communicate to the actor and say, is it okay if we go maybe 20% less? And that's not a reflection of you're gonna look 20% slower, it still looks fast on the camera. It's just that's how we can safely achieve that shot together. So it's being open, and if an actor has questions about what I'll be doing with the camera and where I'll be moving, to ask.
Right.
And just talk to one another. Again, it's teamwork. We're trying to create this together.
Likewise, you shouldn't be expected to, if you're going to follow, chase an actor however fast they would like to be running.
And that's when we might actually, we'll do rehearsals and we'll speak to one another. And even maybe during the shot, if we're not recording sound, it might be an idea that I will be slow down just a touch, or slow down a touch, or the director does that as well. Mm-hmm. So, again, it's just communication.
Great. Now you said you might ask an actor to go about 20% slower. Is that lingo we can expect to hear on set?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly what I hear on set and what I use on set. I mean, people have their own certain lingo, but yeah, of course, 20% slower, it's a kind of definite, accurate representation rather than just a little bit slower.
This has been a really great conversation. Thank you so much for coming. I think we should do something practical so that we can show everyone exactly how things work. Should we go outside?
Let's do it.